Today, I want to talk about a truth that so many of us live with, yet rarely speak about out loud. You'll be judged. No matter what you do. Society's double standards for men. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? You try to be the nice guy, and you're labeled weak. You try to be strong, and you're called heartless. You speak up, and they say you're too aggressive. You stay silent, and they say you're emotionally unavailable. No matter what you do, you will be judged. And if you are a man in today's society, especially a young man trying to figure out who you are and what you stand for, this truth becomes a burden you carry on your shoulders every day. 1. The pressure to be everything at once. From the time we're little boys, the world starts whispering in our ears, "Don't cry, don't be soft, be tough, be a man." But what does that even mean? What does it mean to be a man in a world where the definition changes depending on who you're talking to? We're expected to be providers, protectors, emotionally strong, financially stable, always in control, never showing too much emotion, but still caring, sensitive, emotionally available, respectful, romantic, and vulnerable. Tell me, how does one person live up to all of that? We're expected to be warriors with the heart of a poet, stone on the outside, yet soft on the inside. It's a contradiction that's impossible to live up to. And when we fall short of these unrealistic expectations, the judgment comes fast. 2. Success or shame. There's no middle ground. Society treats men as human doings instead of human beings. You're either successful or you're invisible. You're either winning or you're worthless. A man without a job is considered lazy. A man without ambition is considered a loser. A man who shows too much emotion is unstable. A man who doesn't show emotion is cold. There's no room for just being human. Women are often given empathy. Men are given expectations. When a woman breaks down, society surrounds her with support. When a man breaks down, society tells him, "Toughen up, nobody cares." 3. Double standards in relationships. Let's talk relationships. One of the biggest mirrors that reflects society's double standards. A man is expected to make the first move, pay for the date, plan the future, protect, provide, predict, and still be gentle, funny, charming, respectful, and calm at all times. If he doesn't chase, he's not interested. If he chases too much, he's creepy. If he opens up, he's too emotional. If he doesn't, he's emotionally unavailable. And let's not even talk about divorce. A man can lose his children, his home, his savings, and his dignity in the blink of an eye. Now, this is not about blaming women. This is about questioning a society that builds rules for men that they themselves can't follow. Men are judged for being vulnerable and yet told to communicate more. We're judged for being distant and yet punished when we try to open up. 4th, fatherhood versus motherhood. Let's go further. When a woman stays home to raise the kids, she's praised as selfless and nurturing. When a man does the same, he's questioned. Why isn't he working? Is he lazy? And if a man is working too much, he's never around. He doesn't care about his kids. This judgment is relentless. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. 5. Mental health, the silent struggle. One of the most devastating consequences of these double standards, men's mental health. Did you know that men are 3 to 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women? Why? Because men don't feel safe enough to ask for help. Society tells them, be strong. Don't cry. Don't talk about it. Handle it like a man. So they bottle it up. They suffer in silence. And by the time the world notices, it's already too late. 6. the masculinity paradox. Here's the paradox. If you follow society's rules for what it means to be a real man, you lose yourself. If you reject those rules, you get judged. You're caught in a trap either way. So what are men supposed to do? Do we keep performing for a world that never claps? Do we keep running in a race where the finish line keeps moving? Do we keep sacrificing our authenticity just to be accepted? 7. Redefining masculinity. The only way out is through honesty. We must redefine what it means to be a man, not based on outdated expectations, not based on how strong you look or how much you earn, but based on integrity, courage, kindness, emotional truth, and freedom. Being a man should mean being responsible. It should mean being honest, not invincible. It should mean being strong enough to be vulnerable. It should mean being free to cry, to feel, to fail, and to try again. 8. To society. Stop judging, start listening. To society, I say this. Stop judging men by a rule book they didn't write. Start listening to their struggles, their fears, their dreams. Start offering empathy instead of expectations. And to every man listening today, you are not weak for feeling pain. You are not less of a man for asking for help. You don't have to wear the mask anymore. A message to all men. You'll be judged no matter what. So stop trying to please everyone. Live by your values. Speak your truth. Protect your peace. Heal, grow, break cycles. You weren't born to carry the world's judgment. You were born to live freely, deeply, and honestly. As we continue this conversation, I want to shift the focus, not away from the problem, but toward the solution. Because yes, the double standards are real. Yes, the judgment is constant. But now the question is, what do we do about it? How do we rise above a system that constantly tries to shrink us down? It starts with awareness. The first step in breaking free from any prison, mental or societal, is recognizing you're in one. For too long, men have been conditioned, not just raised, conditioned to ignore their inner world, to measure their worth by their wallets, muscles, or status, to suppress their humanity in exchange for approval. But once you see the conditioning, you can begin to challenge it. No, you don't have to be emotionally numb to be respected. No, success doesn't have to cost you your soul. No, masculinity doesn't mean dominating others. It means mastering yourself. Awareness is power, because when you're aware of the trap, you no longer walk into it blindly. Redefine success for yourself. Let me ask you this. Whose definition of success are you chasing? Society's, social media's, your parents, your peers? We live in a culture that tells men, you're only valuable if you're making money. You're only powerful if others fear you. You're only lovable if you have status. That's not success. That's slavery. Real success is when you wake up and live life on your own terms. When you sleep with peace, not stress. When you're surrounded by people who see your soul, not just your achievements, when you're not just making it, but you're enjoying it. Reclaim your definition of success. Not everyone wants to be a billionaire or a CEO. Some want peace. Some want purpose. Some want family. Some want creativity. There is no single mold a man has to fit into. And the moment you realize that, the judgment starts to lose its grip. Build brotherhood, not competition. Another silent damage society does to men is that it isolates them. It pits man against man. Who's richer? Who's stronger? Who has more women? Who's more alpha? And in that competition, we lose our connection. We stop talking. We stop sharing. We stop supporting each other. But the truth is, every man is fighting a silent battle. Every man has insecurities he hides. Every man carries burdens he doesn't talk about. And every man is waiting for someone to simply say, "Brother, I see you. I hear you. You're not alone." We must build brotherhoods, not battlegrounds. Communities where men can speak without shame. Spaces where they don't have to be perfect, just present. This is how we start to heal from the inside out. Stop performing, start living. Men have become performers in a society that never claps. We wear masks, the funny guy, the strong silent type, the leader, the hustler, the hero. But deep down, we're just people, with fears, with doubts, with dreams we haven't spoken out loud in years. And here's the painful truth. You could do everything right and still get judged. You could check every box and still feel empty. You could play the role perfectly and still be forgotten. So why not stop performing and start living? Let go of the mask. Let go of the act. Let go of needing to be understood by everyone. Because freedom doesn't come from acceptance. It comes from authenticity. Lead the next generation. Differently, we're not just men. We are mirrors to the next generation. The way we show up now will echo into how our sons view themselves, how our daughters view men, and how society evolves or doesn't. So we have a responsibility. Teach the next generation that strength is not the absence of emotion, but the courage to feel. That a man's worth is not in what he owns, but who he becomes. That kindness is not weakness, but power. That crying is not feminine, it's human. Break the chain, lead differently. Because real legacy isn't what you leave behind, it's what you pass forward. A personal message to every man. Listening. You may be tired, you may feel unseen, you may feel like no matter what you do, it's never enough. But let me say this to you, you are enough. Not when you succeed, not when you're perfect, not when you're accepted. You are enough right now, as you are, not because society says so, but because your value was never up for negotiation. Final words, from judgment to freedom. Yes, you'll be judged no matter what you do, but judgment loses its power when you no longer live for approval. Live for purpose. Live for growth. Live for truth. Live for peace. Because when you stop chasing validation and start building internal value, you stop bending to double standards and you start standing in your real power. And to all of you, men, women, everyone listening, let's build a world where masculinity isn't measured by how little a man feels, but by how deeply he lives. Let's create a world where men don't have to break to be seen, where they don't have to hide to be accepted, where they don't have to pretend to be loved. Let us raise our sons to know that they can be warriors and artists, strong and soft, bold and kind, broken and still worthy. Because that's not weakness, that's evolution, that's freedom. Thank you.